Ladies and gents, I'm Rosuji Reacts and this is America's secret plan to blow up the moon, Tales from the Bottle by the channel Quickseer. With Donald Trump's recent announcement of Space Force, Tales from the Bottle takes a look at one of the United States' earliest military involvement in the final frontier. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, America's secret plan to blow up the moon. I don't know why would they want to do that. But yeah, Space Force, I think it was not Donald Trump's original idea or something. People really, started like, how stupid that is, Space Force. Because Donald Trump said it. I mean, people talked about Space Force a long time ago during the Bush organization and even before that. So this is not something new. Or less was this one. Quickseer is a great channel. I love reacting to this channel. I reacted to a few videos from this channel already. I think 2, 3, I don't know. I did the Killdozer, the FBI killed innocent woman, World War II meth soldier type of thing. Yeah. So this is going to be awesome. Remember people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction today. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast of the different playlists Salmonella Academy, Internet Historian, Only Sarcastic Production, Tier Zoo, Quickseer in a nutshell. Lots of time I upload videos, more than 3 in 24 hours, and notifications don't get sent. So you might have missed something, so check that out. And yeah, let's watch this one.
Before I begin, I think we should all take a moment to appreciate the fact that we've been born just in time to witness the creation of Space Force. It's been a long time since America last made a contribution to civilized society, so I'd just like to, congratulate them, wish them all the best. Don't fuck this up. It could be really cool. We're all rooting for you. However, it's not the first time America's looked to militarize space, and this particular story takes us.
Yes, Space Force, it's not that stupid when you think about it. First of all, United States Air Force was part of the, military, army, military, whatever. So it wasn't a separate division. But one day people realized, this needs to be a separate division. So they made US Air Force. Then US Space Force still existed, but it was part of the Air Force. I mean, there was a satellite like Hubble, before Hubble, which was pointing down to spy on things. That was basically Space Force, but it was a division of the United States Air Force. So, Space Force has existed for a long time now. They're just thinking of making it a separate division, just like Air Force, because, space is different from anything from air. So Air Force, Space Force being part of the Air Force is kind of weird. I mean, it worked, sure, but let's make it a separate division. It's not that weird to think about. Any type of defense, like asteroid defense or any type of issues that we might have, it's not really a bad idea. People made fun of Donald Trump, like, oh, Donald Trump, look at this, that moron. Here he goes again with the stupid talk. It's not really. Lots of smart people have, argued about this too. Like, we need a Space Force for a long time. So it's not really stupid.
Back to a time before the moon landing. In fact, this story is closely linked to the moon landing, as you will soon find out. The US and the Soviet Union were embroiled in the Cold War, and in 1957 the Soviets took the lead in the space race by launching Sputnik 1, the first man-made satellite to orbit the Earth. The US were already lagging behind with 2 failed attempts to launch their own satellites, so they decided they needed to up their game. The space race was largely showboating and one-upsmanship, and one of America's greatest shows of power in the past was, of course, the nuclear bomb, so why not use it again? There were a lot of rumors at the time that the Soviets were planning.
Sputnik was intercontinental ballistic missile eventually. You need to realize that. So it's not just the Sputnik was wrong, it's that's the capability of Russian missiles at the time. That was the scary thing. So that's why they thought, screwed, we're going to blow up the moon just to flex or something like that.
Planning to detonate a hydrogen bomb on the moon to commemorate the anniversary of the October Revolution. And this would really make the US look like chumps when it came to space. So in response, the US Air Force proposed putting a nuclear bomb on the moon as soon as possible, as they thought their progress in the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles would allow them to do it. As such, resources and manpower were pooled into the top secret Project A119. Like, yeah, seriously, they were really planning on nuking the moon. The moon! It sounds crazy, but I mean, like, hey, fuck it, that's awesome. It's like Fuck you, Moon. A team was assembled to study the possibility of the effects of detonating
All of them
in
are look at
space.
that.
And look, fair play to them. When I imagine the people who suggested nuking the moon, I don't envision the sort of person who would logically consider and research the ramifications and the scientific value of such a feat. Among this team was a young Carl Sagan. The idea was to have the explosion visible to people on Earth.
Yeah, see, the thing is, people just go, fuck it, I want to nuke the moon. Give me the smart people. Then smart people comes and here's the thing, we are going to nuke the moon. Now you decide everything else around it. So now they have to think, what's the issues going to be and this and that.
Be a great morale boost for the American people. As such, the explosion was intended to occur along the moon's terminator, where the sun would light up the blast and maximize its visibility. So they had to mathematically project the path a missile would take to reach the terminator, as well as the expansion of the dust cloud. The Armour Research Foundation had been investigating the effects of nuclear explosions on the environment since 1949, and so began researching the consequences of an explosion on the moon. What's the radiation going to be like? What will we learn about the composition of the lunar surface? Of course, as we all know today, the moon is entirely comprised of cheese. The Air Force would go on to cancel the project in 1959 for three main reasons. Number one, they realised, hey, maybe the public won't be ecstatic about seeing part of the moon explode. Number two, if the launch failed, there was a good chance the nuke would just fall back down to Earth, and don't forget, they had two failed satellite attempts in the past, so just upping the stakes was probably a bad idea. Well, I haven't really learned to ride my bike yet, but this time I'm going to strap rockets to the wheels and razors to the handlebars. And number three, the fallout could potentially interfere with future research.
Yeah, I mean, look, launching Sputnik makes sense because it's like an achievement, like we could explore space now or something like that. It signifies something. What does nuking the moon does? People will be like, okay, that's great, but why did you do that? What's the fucking point of that? You spend all this money just so I can see a light on the moon?
Research projects and even colonization. Look, yeah, that was really a legitimate consideration. It also turned out that the rumours about the similar Soviet project were somewhat true. They did actually have the same idea as the Americans, and their project was cancelled for much the same reasons. Treaties signed between the two superpowers in the 60s would prevent both sides from sending nukes into space. The Americans were very saddened with the prospect of blowing up the moon totally out of the question, and dejectedly resigned themselves to faking the moon landing instead. The US government has never officially recognized its involvement in the project. Classic. So how can I reveal all this information to you? Well, I just made it all up. Just like my debilitating back injury and my benefits claim. No, I'm only joking about the moon stuff. It actually all comes from the aforementioned Carl Sagan. In the mid-90s, a writer was researching Sagan's life for a biography. He came across details of the project which Sagan had included.
US government must be like, god damn it. How the fuck did we miss that? Basically a guy who's following Carl Sagan. He licked everything.
In an application for an academic scholarship, which is a breach of national security, I'm fairly sure. In light of this, Leonard Reifel, the project lead, came forward to confirm the leak and reveal more information. This would lead to a Freedom of Information request being lodged for Project A119, and the government would oblige by releasing one of the least incriminating papers, A Study of Lunar Research Flights, Volume 1. I like the little drawing on the front there. A search for some more papers concerning the project revealed that they had been destroyed in the 80s. Hey guys, so at the request of some of my viewers, I have created a Discord server. Now, I've never used Discord before.
Damn, okay. That's something, isn't it? I mean, at the time during the Cold War, Russians and Americans were just trying to flex. After Sputnik, obviously, before the moon landing, Russians were doing a lot of space thing. They were first at almost everything. Then the Sputnik, so Americans were basically like, okay, we have to do something here. So yeah, I mean, it might, right now you think, oh, stupid, that's all stupid, blowing up the moon, really, nuking the moon. But at the time, where the things were going, at the time, people might have thought, what, it's not really stupid. You can see that. I mean, yeah, nuking the moon, I mean, that would, basically, that's a flex moment if there is any. Right, people, that was America's secret plan to blow up the moon. Throwing a nuke on the moon, not blowing up the moon. That's a whole different thing. This is by the channel Quickset. Is a great channel. If you like my Rickson, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Rickson. There's a link in the description. Check out the cards, playlist, check out the end cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.